Don't lease a car. Don't ever lease a car. We've had a lot of interest in this topic on our various channels. Let me go into more detail here of why you should never lease a car. First of all, leases were invented by car dealerships and the finance companies. This way to finance cars benefits them. There's nothing good in this for you. Let me explain why. So first of all, when you lease a car, the money is gone. All of that upfront payment you make and every payment you make for the 3 years of that lease, it's all gone. It's basically like renting a car. Now look, leases are pretty easy, right? So if you want the easiest way to own a car, then of course a lease is that way. If you're renting a car, basically you rent it, you pay the fee, you turn it back in, it's done. Essentially a lease is a long-term car rental. When I went to Florida for a recent trip, I rented a car and for 1 week I paid $1,500 to lease that car. In that case, we called it renting a car, but that money was gone. That's a lot more than I should have paid for the right to use that car for a week. But guess what? It was convenient. From the airport, I picked up the car, I used it for a week, I turned it back in, and it was done. And that's exactly what a lease is. It's really convenient, but financially, it's horrible. Also with a lease, you're locked in for typically 3 years. Now you can get out of a lease, but it's very difficult. So you better really want that car and you better make sure you want to own it for that time period. And also leases have a lot of mileage restrictions. So if you plan on driving a lot of miles, you're going to go over your lease and they're going to charge you a lot of money for those miles. So remember, there's a lot of negatives about leases. There's really very few, if any, positives. Now, when you compare that to the car hacking model that I show you, it's a no-brainer. It's so much better to hack a car because with a car, you can basically own that car for free over a 6 to 12 month period. Even if you're paying what you think is relatively little money for the lease, you're still losing money because in my model, you're basically doing it for free. Let's look at a graphic of leasing versus hacking a car from my friends at Exotic Car Hacks. If you want more information, check their stuff out. It's really good. Okay, so in this graphic, you can see the difference between leasing and hacking. Now, this is a Rolls-Royce Dawn. Maybe that's not the car you're looking for, but the numbers are the same. No matter what type of car you're buying or leasing, in this case, they're going to be about the same in terms of the concept here. The numbers may be lower. So if you lease a 2020 Rolls-Royce Dawn, you can see the manufacturer sticker price there, the amount of payments, your down payment, your total payments, your residual of what it's worth after your lease, and your total cost of ownership. Look at that, $157,000 to lease this car over 48 months. That's $3,272 per month. That's a lot of money. Compared to hacking a car, you're buying a 2016 Rolls-Royce Dawn, which again will be almost identical to the new car. You really won't be able to tell the difference. You're purchasing it for $238,000. You have a down payment of about $3,000. The value of that car in 48 months is $200,000. Your total of cost of ownership here is $60,000. Compare that to almost $160,000. That's $1,284 a month for driving a car that stickers for almost $400,000. Imagine that. And if you factor in the tax savings with a Section 179 write-off, you're actually making money to drive this car. Now, in this example, they talk about a 48-month ownership period. That's 4 years. What I'm talking about is a 6 to 12-month ownership period. And in that period, you can actually break even. If you bought that car properly at $238,000 in this example, you can pretty much sell it for right about that number in 6 to 12 months. So your cost of ownership at the bottom goes down to almost zero. Imagine driving this car for less than $500 a month when you count your taxes and everything else you have to pay. It's a no-brainer. Hacking a car makes total sense compared to leasing. Don't ever lease a car. A lease is a fleece. So check out all my other videos on this channel about leasing versus buying and how to properly hack a car. We're going to talk about how to do a proper PPI, a pre-purchase inspection, so you're covered against big expenses and maintenance issues. There's many things that go into this, but if you're smart and you do this properly, you can essentially drive a car for free, whether it's a Rolls-Royce Dawn or any other car of your choice. As always, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any videos in this important series on car hacking.